My white racist aunt just gave birth to a biracial baby, and now they want to get rid of the baby.
That's
I, 18 female, am adopted. My aunt and uncle have made comments about this in the past, how I'm not really in the family or whatever. It doesn't really bother me anymore because I barely see them apart from family reunions and stuff. They're also homophobic, racist, and every kind of ist you can think of. They couldn't get pregnant for various reasons, including the fact that my aunt is pushing 40.
good.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I want you raising a baby. Anyways, they spent a bunch of money on fertility treatments before eventually using an egg donor. Also, I had just gotten a hysterectomy at the time for medical reasons, and my aunt made some weird comment to my mom about how I was wasting my purpose as a woman and how I could have been a surrogate for them. They also said that they didn't want to adopt. They wanted their own kids and didn't want an abandoned problem kid.
Why are they saying all this out loud? Keep it to yourself. Have the understanding that you might get a lot of for coming out and saying these terrible things.
But Sam, some news. The baby was born, and to the shock and horror and surprise of my aunt and uncle, the baby is brown.
Wait. Their baby?
Their baby.
How? And they're racist.
And they're racist. If you recall a little bit ago, they ended up going with a donor.
But don't they screen the
One would think. Apparently, the egg donor wrote Caucasian as the ethnicity, but had a Guyanese grandmother.
Maybe they'll be less racist after having a darker baby.
One can hope.
My hopes and dreams are always squashed on these Reddit stories, so it's probably not going to happen.
Have a little faith. So they had the baby with them at the family reunion, and my aunt in particular looked tired and upset. I couldn't resist making a comment to my mom within earshot of them that if they'd adopted, they could have picked a nice white baby and maybe mistook the IVF clinic for a Build-A-Bear workshop. Whoa.
Savage OP.
That's a bit, yeah, my goodness. I heard they might be trying to sue the clinic.
Excuse me, my baby came out darker than I was expecting.
My aunt got really upset and started crying, and my uncle turned red and yelled at me about how I have no right to talk about their private life, that I was a bish, and all of this other crap. Then they left. My mom thought my comments were funny, but says I should apologize to keep the peace.
I think they're funny.
Me too. And my dad says that they needed to hear the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
I think I might be the a-hole because it's kind of unfair to the baby to bring her into it. So am I the a-hole? There is a quick update. As of now, how are we feeling, everybody?
Yeah.
How are we feeling, Sam?
Well, put your answers of what you think is OP the a-hole. I guess I see where OP's coming from, where it's like, oh, I might be the a-hole for kind of insulting almost like the baby.
Yeah.
And, like,
Build-A-Bear, I was like,
Yeah. It's like it feels almost insulting to the baby, but not quite. I mean, like really what OP's using is like they're using
their
sarcasm.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't
and their own
realize
prejudice like against them essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like OP's almost taking on this idea of being super prejudiced. So it's like almost ironic. And I think maybe that irony and that joking is actually helping this couple see how terrible they've been.
So update, to clarify some things. One, I am Chinese. However, even if I had been white, my comment would still not have been racist. Racist means to show prejudice or discrimination to one race because of their race. I don't think anyone would argue that white people are a oppressed minority. One, as for the racist stuff they've said, they were hardcore Trump supporters during both the 2016 and 2020 elections and have called my mixed-raced friend a half-breed. This is unfair for the baby. I do feel sorry for her. I regret bringing an innocent baby into this. I hope my aunt and uncle learn from this and maybe become less prejudiced.
Yeah, this aunt and uncle sound awful.
I feel so bad for this baby.
Yeah.
Like, even if the aunt and uncle do become more progressive because of this, or like
Let's
not
hope. That's what
racist,
we can
really,
only hope.
it's probably still at the expense of the baby. You know what I mean? Like, they probably are going to like fumble like so many things in the process to get there. So
yeah, I just feel like OP has been really shat on by this couple, and
is trying to show them.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, maybe not in the most empathetic way.
The smoothest style.
But trial by fire.
I mean, they need to know like what time it is.
Yeah. Time for some education.
Yup. I scared my girlfriend's family by attacking them, but it was just a prank. Now she's trying to leave me, but I'll show her what a nice guy I am.
Yeah, I'm super nice. I just murdered your entire family.
This past weekend was the big camping trip that my girlfriend would be taking with her and her family. It would consist of her, her parents, her younger sister, aunt and uncle, 3 cousins. It was a big family trip that was being planned once we had cooler weather.
That's kind of cool. I like big family trips. I like the idea
it's
of
a good idea.
Yeah.
It's also much easier to murder all of them at once. So I visited my girlfriend's house to say goodbye to her and wish her a fun trip when they all took off in their cars. Then I got into my car and drove to the campsite that they would be staying at. I know the area pretty well, and I was able to find a spot to hide my car from view, and I was able to navigate the woods and keep an eye on them while remaining hidden from view.
Wait, so he's stalking her entire family?
How else do you attack them, Sam?
OP, I'm beginning to not be on your side.
When it came nighttime, I put on a Chewbacca costume and ruffled it up a little bit to make it look wild and untamed.
What is wrong with you, bro?
Can you see where this is going? While the family was gathered around the campfire, I started to rustle the bushes. The family noticed but didn't think much of it. Then I started to make growling noises. The family was getting noticeably freaked out, and then my girlfriend's uncle started walking towards where I was hiding.
What if they have a gun?
We're gonna have to find out. As soon as he got close enough, I jumped out from behind the bushes and started making roaring noises while running around acting like Bigfoot. I shook their tents, threw their lawn chairs around, and chased after some of the cousins.
That's pretty funny.
My goodness. Usually, like, it's like you probably like, ah, and they're like, ah, and you're like,
no, you have to,
hey,
you have to stay in character.
But then I heard my girlfriend's dad yell, "Get the gun!"
I knew it was gonna happen. I
Good
knew
call,
guns
bro.
would be involved.
You called it, dude. And that's when I knew I had to end the prank. I took off the costume, revealed myself, and the entire family was pissed. Long story short, I got yelled at by almost all of her family.
How did you think it was going to go? Like,
How was this supposed to end?
Yeah, like
Truly.
It was like, oh, that was so funny. You know what? I really want you to marry my daughter.
And all of the noise attracted the campsite manager, who kicked me out after hearing what happened. Honestly, justifiable.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Support for OKOP is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Their products are precision engineered tools to protect your family jewels.
Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle.
Inside this package, you're going to find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer,
The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer,
the Crop Preserver ball deodorant,
the Crop Reviver toner,
and a pair of sweet-looking boxer briefs.
and that 4th generation groomer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade which reduces nicks and cuts. The lawnmower is waterproof and has a 4000K LED spotlight to give you a little extra light when you do your grooming below the belt. So it's time to take care of yourself. So go to manscaped.com and put in code OKOP to get 20% off plus worldwide shipping.
We're always giving y'all deals. Again, that's 20% off and free worldwide shipping if you use code OKOP at manscaped.com.
Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools with Manscaped.
Today, I heard back from my girlfriend for the first time since the prank, and she said that she is seriously considering breaking up with me.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think you kind of deserve it.
She said that she just needs some time to think and that she'll let me know when she's made her decision. Now I'm just left wondering what to do. I'm thinking I need to pull off a major apology and I need some advice on what to say to save this relationship. Sam, we have an update. Everyone also in the comments, what would you advise?
I don't think someone like this knows how to situations. I think they only know how to increasingly up their life. And so I'm going, his life is going to get more up for 200.
Okay. On to the update. Last night, my girlfriend's family was holding a barbecue in their backyard, and my girlfriend was able to talk her dad into inviting me. He was originally...
The whole family is like, this
yeah,
guy.
we hate this kid. He was originally against the idea of me coming, but he was willing to let me come so long as the first thing I do is offer a genuine apology for the prank that I pulled on all of them. I arrived in their backyard, and everybody that I pranked at the campsite was sitting at the table, and they were all clearly waiting for me to arrive. Oh man, so everyone's like just sitting there just like, okay.
We're ready for our apology.
I sat down next to my girlfriend and I began my apology. I stated that my prank was ill-timed, immature, and thoughtless, and I apologized for ruining their camping trip that they had apparently been planning for some time. I tried to make it as genuine and sincere as possible, and when I was done, I waited for some type of response. There was a really long, awkward silence as the whole family just stared at me. Then the uncle whispered something into the dad's ear, and they both burst out laughing, but I couldn't make out what he said. Then the dad said that he didn't accept my apology and he told me to leave. My initial response was very loud, "What the F?" And that made things worse. I can imagine. My girlfriend's dad kept telling me to leave and I lost my temper. I swiped an empty plastic cup off the table and said to the family, "Fine, F all of you," while flipping them off with both middle fingers.
Okay, it's very like you see what just happened here though, right? The uncle is trying to put a prank on OP for sure.
Bro,
For sure.
you're right.
And he failed the test.
Dude, I never thought of that. I think you're right. As I was leaving the backyard, my girlfriend caught up to me and said that she was breaking up with me.
Low-key, OP sounds terrible. I wouldn't date him.
Absolutely not, bro.
John and I will not date you.
She said that I was too immature and impulsive, and she said that she wants me to leave her and her family alone. I tried apologizing to her profusely. I kept saying, "Babe, I'm so sorry. Just give me another chance, I promise. I'll be good, I promise.
I promise I won't put on the Chewbacca costume in the bedroom anymore, babe. And unless, like, you're into it.
You know you want this Chewbacca." I just kept saying over and over, and she'd say that she's given me, quote, millions of chances and that she, quote, can't fix me. She then walked off, and I did something that made things even worse.
Why, OP? Bro.
I yelled at her, calling her a bish, and then I started kicking and punching the wooden fence that separates their front and backyard. I knocked down the part of the fence, and then I left. So,
wow.
there we have it. There we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're so conflicted here. I know this is, oh man, this is right on the line. But guys, you got to let us know if Chewbacca is the a-hole or not. Like, I mean,
please. I mean,
what do we think?
Personally, man just digs himself a deeper and deeper hole.
Bro.
I think his girlfriend is completely in the right.
Yes.
For dropping that like tub of hair. And also I think he was being put like there was a prank being pulled on him.
Yeah,
and he
I think
just
you're
reacted
right.
terribly.
Great theory.
And then people are like, "Oh, okay, maybe we actually should not let this kid in our home." He seems like he has anger issues.
1,000%.
And prank issues.
My girlfriend embarrassed me in front of my boys by not helping our sinking boat. Should I end it?
If the boat sunk, the relationship is also going to sink.
So I have what I think is a very good sense of situational awareness.
Oh, a Redditor with situational awareness.
Whoa.
How rare.
We got a badass over here.
Hey, yo.
I'm a quick thinker, and I tend not to panic in dangerous situations. My fiance, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. If I'm being nice, I would say she doesn't have any awareness of danger.
My fiance's a dumb bitch.
If I'm being honest, I would say that she has the survival instinct of a panda raised in captivity.
Who do I want taking care of my children in the future? This soft panda bitch.
She had no sense of danger around her, doesn't constantly examine her surroundings for things that could be dangerous.
Constantly examine your surroundings for threats. Who's there? Who's there?
Listen, a sniper could take their heads out at any second.
It could. Anything could happen.
He brings his X-ray goggles with him, but she doesn't.
Bring the bulletproof vest. I mean, if they're living in America, maybe. If they're living in America next to a school, they might need some situational awareness.
And when things go bad, her reaction is to panic and scream.
Come on, grow up.
So on Friday, we went out on the boat of a friend of mine and we got into a dangerous situation. We were anticipating light rain, but we ended up with a downpour, high winds, and high waves. While me and the other men there were
manly men, we know how to tie knots and steer a ship.
We were trying to strap things down and keep the boat from capsizing, but my fiance screamed and cried for dear life. She was in hysterics.
Come on, panda.
Pull your own weight
together. Here's some bamboo.
Yeah, chew on this. And look, I get it was a scary situation, but her yelling and screaming, "We're all gonna die," and for God to save us, and literally crying and saying it's my fault that she's on a boat since I asked her to come with. None of the other girlfriends or wives were doing this, just her.
No.
I'm sure the other women there were just as scared, but tried to keep it in for the sake of the men doing something about it. Oh God, he literally wrote that. Oh. Oh man, my boy is old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
In other words, misogynistic.
The downpour was really bad for about 15 minutes. So 15 minutes of wailing while we were doing everything we could to keep things all right. We made it back safe with little more damage than a few spilled White Claws. Excuse me, sir? That is
Precious cargo.
precious. Now, on the car ride home, I told my fiance that we needed to talk about how she was behaving during the crisis.
Like a freaking panda.
You need to act like Amanda, not a panda. Not only was it incredibly embarrassing in front of my boys.
Boys, how could you embarrass me in front of the boys? We were just smashing back White Claws.
Come on, we were just crushing White Claws, strapping down like fucking men. But Sam, not only was it incredibly embarrassing in front of the boys, but it was distracting, unhelpful, and telling.
Telling of what?
Telling that you're a little wimp-ass panda. Yeah. I told her that today proved to me that if I was in a life or death situation, I could not rely on her to be any help or do anything except make things more stressful.
I love how OP's constantly thinking
What
like
is
life
this?
and death.
This is too much, bro.
Something though that I think is true is often like when someone is freaking out, their partner will like kind of take the reins.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know,
For sure. Yeah.
You can't have two people freaking out at once.
This is true.
Yeah.
This
So
is true.
maybe if OP wasn't such a man, and just be like, "Wife, help me," maybe she would have.
Yeah, that's right.
Muscled up.
Let your wife step up. Be a little spoon.
Yeah, you know what you should have
okay?
done? Nothing. So your wife could
Yeah.
prove herself.
Yeah, just sit there like the ship's just going.
Yeah.
She got unbelievably mad. She said that she thought she was going to die and had reason to freak out. I told her that all of us were scared, but none of us were as ridiculous as she was. We argued the entire ride home, and she is still pissed off at me. I think I was right to say this, especially as we're planning our lives together and raising a family, and I can't be the only level-headed one. So am I the a-hole? So there's a little bit of an edit, but Sam, everyone, gut check. How's Armanda making you feel?
Okay. This might be an unpopular take. I do think that like if you're in a situation that is stressful,
Yeah.
how your partner reacts is a good indicator
Yeah.
of like how they're gonna deal with stressful things in the future.
Yeah.
Because like a marriage is hard. If you can't deal with like stressful situations, then how are you gonna be able to deal with the hard things that come up within a marriage?
Yeah.
So I think OP's maybe taking a little overboard, but I do get where he's coming from, where he's like, hey, like this is gonna be, you know, my wife, future mother of my children. If she can't handle the tough stuff, like is she gonna be able to handle the tough stuff that comes in our marriage?
Yeah, she did have a bit of like when she said, I wouldn't be dying if it wasn't for you, or whatever she said. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like a little bit. I mean, you know, people freak out and get scared and whatnot.
But I think like when someone freaks out, that's like, I feel like you don't determine your character in the good moments. You determine it in how you react in the bad moments.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, I don't know that it's like a deal breaker or like that kind of thing, but I definitely think that
It's information.
it's information, and like I feel like I would want and have someone who would like, I don't know, I guess in a very dangerous scenario, I don't know, try to, I don't know, do something or
help. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's worth bringing up and saying like, hey, like if this happens, if something scary happens against, I want you to be there helping me, rather than screaming.
Yeah. So edit. Oh my effing God. The women there did not help because they did not know how to help. The men there have been out together on the boat countless times before, so we all are experienced and know exactly what to do. It's so much more unsafe for them to be in our way attempting to help if they really don't know what they're doing. It's safer for everyone if they just hang on, keep calm until the issue is resolved. This has nothing to do with them being women. It has everything with them not knowing what to do. If another guy had been there and didn't know what to do, I'd tell him to sit his tight little booty down and let those of us who know what to do handle it.
I get what he's saying there. Yeah, I think he went a little overboard. I think this is just information, not a deal breaker. And if you're ever in a situation where you're like freaking out, you should just either try to remain calm so you're not distracting, or try to help if you can.
My random new teacher just told the class he's been in my house. I do not know what to do here. So this is high school, junior year, first day of class. The teacher walks in It's an older, wrinkly guy with a stash. A little weird looking. His shirt is only tucked in on one side.
Fashion, bro.
Everyone's looking at this teacher and just getting the wrong vibe from this guy. Like, he's not at all there in the head.
He's old and wrinkly, ew.
He's got a maniac look in his eyes. He's creepy. I feel like that's probably a little harsh. At least.
Just from a look.
So he starts going through attendance, not looking up the whole time. Then he gets to my name. He starts to say it, and then he stops, looks up and scans the room and looks directly at me. Ah, Mr. OP, I'm glad you're here. How's the family? Is your little sister still playing the piano? Is that model ship still right on your dresser? And is your room still colored blue?
That is a lot of specific information. Are you my mom?
Blasting me in the class,
bro.
At this point, I'm shocked and mortified. I just can't find the words to respond. This creeper has just described my family and the effing room I sleep in at night. Of course it is. It's been only, what, a week? Then he goes back to attendance. Panics were had that day. But anyway, the next day, I find out that that old crazy guy is actually my uncle's best friend.
Okay, so he's not as creepy as we were made to believe, but
Right.
still weird to put it on blast.
And them and my dad decided to all pull a prank on me on my first day. The teacher wasn't so crazy looking the rest of the year. He shaved the pedo stash, which he grew specifically just for the prank, apparently.
Wow, that's commitment to a bit.
He started dressing better, stopped making his eye twitch, etc., etc. Now, I have to admit, it was a good prank, even if I was terrified of being murdered for a day or two.
Pretty solid prank and not like that bad.
What would you do if like a teacher randomly...
I would probably say, hey, that's kind of weird. Can you not describe my house to everyone? No, I would be shocked. I would be shocked. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say shit, bro. I'm a
Yeah,
little,
especially-
little piss boy. You know, you live and you learn.
Yeah.